Hey guys, for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you a tutorial for the makeup look I'm wearing today. It is the first of 2 Valentine's Day tutorials that I'll be sharing this year. This one is a very red and sparkly look, and I think it's a great way to get away with wearing red eyeshadows. However, most of the colors I'm wearing on my lid today are not actually eyeshadows. They are blushes from the e.l.f. Studio Blush Palette in dark, specifically these 3 shades. I think it's a great way for people to realize that just because a product is a blush doesn't mean it has to be worn on your cheeks. It can also be worn on your eyes, and vice versa. You can use eyeshadows for highlights and stuff like that, so it's a great way to show how your products can multitask. Also, every single product I use in this video, from makeup all the way to my brushes, is Drugstore. Some of the stuff you may not necessarily be able to get like in a drugstore, such as the e.l.f. products, but you can easily buy them online for a lot cheaper than most drugstore products. I really hope that you enjoy the video, and if you would like to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. So to start off, I'm going to be taking some tape, and I'm just going to pull off a piece and affix it to the back of my hand to get off the extra, like the first layer of stickiness. I'm going to do that a couple times. And then I'm going to take this piece of tape, I'm going to apply it on the edge of my eye, lining up with the lower lash line, and I'm just going to stick that down. It doesn't have to be perfectly symmetrical on both sides, so long as it's just as even as you can get it. Don't worry about it not being perfect. And then I'm going to take my eye primer. This is the Wet n Wild Take on the Night eye primer, and I am just going to take a little bit and spread that all over the eye. Next, I'm going into my e.l.f. Prism eyeshadow palette in Naked, and I'm going to be using this light white color on just a plain C brush, and I'm going to be putting this all over my lid. I'm also going to take a little bit of that and pop it underneath my brow bone. I'm going to leave the crease free because I want the crease to be mostly matte. I am going to be reaching for my e.l.f. blush palette, and this is in the shade Dark. A lot of times people don't think about the fact that you can use your blushes as eyeshadows, so the majority of the colors I'm using for this look are actually from this palette. So to start out with, I'm going to be taking like a fluffy crease brush, and I'm going to be going into this lightest color in the palette. It's kind of a, it's a very neutral kind of peachy color, and I am just going to work this into my crease. And start off slow and build it up. You don't want to just go right in full force and have it be too bright, because it's hard to blend it out if you do that. But with this, just build it up, and you can have it as intense as you want. I wanted something that was pretty pink for this look, and then I also want to drag it down so it is along the outer V of my eye. Then I'm going in with a small flat shader brush, and I'm dipping into this sparkly, very dark red color. I don't know if you can see, it has like gold shimmer in it. And then this is a very pigmented color, so I'm just going to carefully pick up just a little bit, and I'm going to pack that into the outer, probably third of my eye. I'm going to pack it instead of like swiping it on, so that the pigment stays and it doesn't have a bunch of fallout. And then on a more precise crease brush, this is just one by e.l.f. It's like a round crease brush. I'm going to dip in to this dark browny red color, and I'm going to focus that really in the crease, not above it all, and just build it up until I get the intensity I'd like. Oh, it looks a little bit crazy right now, but once we get everything all placed down and blended, I promise it looks better. Then I'm going back into that same initial shade I used, and I'm going to blend. I'm going back into that Prism eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to be taking this, like the darkest color in the palette, there we go, the darkest color on that same C brush that I used before. I'm going to pick that up and then place it in the outer corner just to deepen up the look. And if some of that red color you initially placed was lost, pick up that same brush as before and dip back into it, tap it off, and then place it on the outer part of that brown, just so you still have some of that red showing through. And then pick up like a fluffy dense blending brush, and then buff everything together just so you get a nice seamless look. And I'm going to add just a teeny tiny bit more of that dark brown to the very outer corner. Then I'm going to be taking the ColourPop eyeshadow, and I heart this just to add some shimmer to this look. I'm just going to take it on my ring finger and then place that on the inner part of my lid, just so there is a nice pop and it's not completely matte, because I'm not a fan of all matte eyeshadow looks. Obviously, if you would prefer to skip this step, you can, but I really love the effect it gives to the look. And then to finish this up, I'm going to take my Revlon Colorstay eyeliner in black, and I'm just going to make a thin line. Now this look would look awesome with like some winged liner, but I am honestly rather atrocious at winged eyeliner, so I'm going to skip that. But if you know how to do winged liner, this look would look amazing with it. And then I'm going to peel away the tape. So to start out, I'm going to be using my Maybelline FitMe concealer in 15 Fair. Then I'm going to be taking my Revlon Colorstay foundation, and my shade is 110 Ivory. And I'm going to apply this all over my face. I really love this foundation for like special occasions. It lasts on my skin a really long time. It's not wanting to come out of the bottle. It lasts on my skin a really long time, and it has a rather matte finish, which is nice. Next, I'm going to be setting my foundation with the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder in 003 Natural. I'm just going to be using my e.l.f. Kabuki face brush. And I'm going to skip out on the under eye area. I'm just going to buff this into the rest of my face. And then to set my under eye, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. High Definition Powder and my little angled contour brush that I talked about in my favorites video, that I just absolutely love it for setting my under eye with. So I'm just going to pick up some of that powder. To save time, I'm going to fill in my eyebrows off camera, and I'm using the e.l.f. Eyebrow Kit in Ash, and I'm just going to be using the powder side of this duo. Next, I'm going to be finishing my eyes, so I'm going to take the same Prism palette, and I'm going to be dipping into the dark color we used in the outer corner, and I am just going to take that up on a brush. I'm actually going to just smudge that along the lower lash line. Just because I don't want to give too much red on the lower lash line because that can make you look like tired or sick. So I just want it to be pulled together with a nice dark line. And I'm going to make sure I bring this all the way up to connect with that winged out look that we have here. So I'm going to do that on the other side as well. And then I'm also going to pop a small amount of black liner into my waterline. Next, I'm going to buff out the... Oh man, I'm sorry. It is very cloudy out today, and I just noticed that the camera got really dark, so I apologize for that. But anyways, I'm going to take like a fluffy lid shadow brush that's clean. I'm going to just slightly, not buff out the edges, but I just want to make it so it's not quite as sharp. So I'm just going to wiggle this back and forth along the edge until it is like defined but soft. Once you're satisfied with that, we're going to do some mascara, and the mascara I'm using is the Jordana Best Lash Extreme Volumizing Mascara. If I'm being honest, I kind of forgot about this mascara, and then I rediscovered it like a week or two ago, and I am absolutely in love with it. I remember now why I enjoyed it so much when I first got it, and I am just going to coat my lashes with this. I'm also going to apply this to my bottom lashes just a little bit. Now that my eyes are done, I'm going to finish up my face. I'm using the e.l.f. Cool Bronzer, and I'm going to mix together the highlight shade with this shade to get a shade that is appropriate for my skin tone, and then I'm using the e.l.f. Angled Blush Brush. And I'm just going to apply a light contour. I don't want anything heavy, just something light. I'm also going to take this up onto my temples and forehead just a little bit to warm my face up. And then for my blush, I'm using that same e.l.f. blush palette in dark, and I am going to mix together the two lightest shades. This is a very like not raspberry, I guess it could be a very light raspberry pink and that same like peachy tone, and I'm going to use this for my blush on a very fluffy complexion brush, this says, and I'm adding in that pink just because a peachy tone like that on my skin just makes me look kind of muddy because my skin is so pale. When I mix the two together, there's some like continuity from the eyeshadow on my cheeks, but I still have that pink flush that I really enjoy. And then my highlight is going to be the e.l.f. Baked Blush in Pinktastic, which is definitely a highlight, but it just adds a very, very gorgeous shine onto the skin. I absolutely love this highlight. And then to finish the look off, I'm going to take my NYX Butter Gloss in Tiramisu, and I'm just going to apply this to my lips. So this is the completed look. I really hope that you guys liked it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!